Preston Macedonia players celebrate at the end of their most memorable victory since coming into the National League. And it wasn't just a victory, it was a 4-0 spanking over the team that hadn't tasted defeat in 20 league matches. Its hopes of going through the season undefeated finally laid to rest. But as far as the championship was concerned, Apia may well have won the match. In today's late news, it was revealed that Apia have been granted an extra point by the league after finding that in a previous match against Melbourne, Croatia, their opponents used an unregistered player. Tonight, a full report on the big upset at the Connor Reserve in a half hour, which also includes highlights of the big Greek derby at Middle Park and the other upset, St George's win at the Croatian Sports Centre. But we begin overseas, and the Italian season kicked off last night with at least one big upset. Ambitious Inter Milan were well beaten and at home 2-0 by newly promoted Pescara in a round producing just 15 goals in 8 matches. The best win was recorded by AC Milan, who beat Pisa 3-1 away, while champions Napoli and last season's runners-up Juventus both won their matches. Napoli beat Cesena 1-0 away, while Juve had a 1-0 home win over Como. The job of Barcelona coach Terry Venables was in jeopardy this morning as the rich Spanish club licked its wounds following an embarrassing 2-0 loss to local rivals Espanyol. Worse for Barça was yet another huge victory by Real Madrid. The champions scored 7 goals for the second time in 2 matches, this time with a 7-1 win away to Real Zaragoza. In the West German Bundesliga, Werder Bremen have gone to the lead after Bayern Munich were beaten 3-1 by FC Köln on Saturday. A day earlier, Bremen thrashed Borussia Dortmund 4-0. Mönchengladbach retained third place behind Bremen and Köln with a 2-0 home win over Hamburg. In Greece, the big derby between Olympiacos and AEK Athens ended in a 2-2 draw after an uninspired display by the champions. Socceroo Jimmy Petikas failed again to get among the scorers, missing 2 opportunities for AEK. And England, looking to have its clubs re-accepted in Europe, had a most troubled weekend on the terraces. 18 fans were arrested at the London derby between Queen's Park Rangers and Chelsea after a reported 250 Chelsea fans invaded the Loftus Road pitch. Spectators were also treated to the sorry sight of 3 men being sent off, unusual in England these days. QPR retained its First Division lead with a 3-1 win over Chelsea, while challengers Manchester United were held 2-2 by visiting Newcastle, both of whose goals came from Brazilian import Mirandinha. Meanwhile, injury-ridden champions Everton could not overcome Luton away from home, continuing to look for their first win on the plastic pitch.
It took Everton just 4 minutes to take the lead, Harper's free kick causing problems for the Luton defence and Neil Poynton scoring. Neville Southall was playing his first game of the season for Everton, and he was soon in action, this save from Mick Harford's header. But he was beaten a few minutes later, Harford's knocked down, setting up the chance for Brian Steen. Luton took the lead early in the second half, Harford again causing problems for the Everton defence, and Ricky Hill scoring. Everton came close to rescuing a point, Watson's header saved by Seeley. The final score, Luton 2, Everton 1.
Well done, Luton, a stylish team. Well, after 20 games without defeat, Apia Leichhardt suffered a devastating loss yesterday, not realising that the championship was already theirs. A 4-goal blitz by Preston Macedonia at the Connor Reserve, if nothing else, proved that Apia is not invincible after all, as Carl Patterson reports.
Under a gloomy Melbourne sky, Apia ventured to the Connor Reserve for what was to be their moment of glory. Coach Rally Razic was a solitary point away from his first championship since 1969, when he led Footscray JUST to the Victorian State League title. The intervening 18 years have brought several near misses for Razic, but surely not this time. Apia was chasing not only a title, but a place in the history books as the first unbeaten NSL champions. Yet the league leaders knew they were vulnerable. Injuries and suspensions left Apia without 4 key players, Yankos, Zami, Bandalo and Mark Brown. As fate would have it, Apia's opponent Macedonia started the day as one of only 2 teams with a mathematical chance of overtaking them. But the real motivation, according to the Macedonia players, was the honour of being the first team to claim Apia's scalp. And a big crowd here, in excess of 3,500 at Preston, anticipating something will happen today. Apia on the attack, Phillips in some space, goes in near post, Rod Brown there, and Trianides can gather, but Rod Brown's so dangerous. Into midfield, Gojevic does well to find McLennan on the overlap. He looks for Domovsky, mistake by Demarini, and somehow Pisano saved that. Domovsky really should have hit the target. So Macedonia looking the more dangerous of the teams as Petrov does well to get past Demarini. Gets his cross in. Campbell's lurking there. Let's go, a pile driver. Straight into the face of Catholis. And now this second half is really hotting up. Macedonia storming forward. McLennan, no one in front of him. Can go all the way. Tries a shot. And just past the post. So Gojevic stumbles. Lauren's back pass. Misdirected. Domovsky. Round the keeper. 1-0 to Macedonia. And Tony Pisano is furious at his defence. An incredible blunder. And Goshe Domovsky has put Macedonia into the lead after 65 minutes. So Ilioski forward to Campbell. Cheeky backheel. Ilioski keeps running. Gojevic beaten out of it. Campbell gets a touch. Petrov hooks it back. And Pisano again having to rescue his defence. So Apia now struggling to pull back this goal. Ball falls loose for Campbell now. Stewart knocks it forward. Appeals for offside. Flag stays down. Domovsky 2-0. Goshe Domovsky. Well, the boy from Vardar is really on fire today. 2 goals and the fans love it. Rally Razic, you see his unbeaten record slipping away. Not much he can do with 20 minutes to go. Again Domovsky. Offside flag is up, but Domovsky continues. Play on. There's his hat-trick. Goshe Domovsky went past 3 defenders. The offside flag was up. But referee Chris Bambridge awarded the goal. And now Preston have a 3-0 lead. So Apia really in a desperate situation. Jackson clears to Butler coming through. Can he pull one back? Terry Butler. Oh, he wasted that chance. And that sums up Apia's day. So rain falling now, only minutes to play. Jackson totally unmarked. And Apia in total disarray. Tony Pisano unable to grab that greasy ball. And Steve Jackson has Preston's 4th goal. And this really is a thrashing. Apia have not been on the receiving end of this type of result for so long. I wonder how it feels for them. So the seconds tick away. And there's the final whistle. Preston Macedonia 4, Apia Leichhardt 0. The taste of defeat after weeks and weeks of triumph brought no sign of emotion from Rally Razic. His unbeaten record lost, the championship not yet won. Razic left empty-handed as a wave of Macedonian euphoria swept the Connor Reserve. It must be a great feeling to knock off Apia.
Yeah, it is. We've been confident for the last 3 weeks now and we can do it, and we finally did it and showed it today.
What about Goshe Domovsky, 3 goals? He hasn't really produced that before today. It must have been a great relief to get someone scoring for you.
Yeah, he's been playing well in the last few games, and he scored a few weeks ago and it's given him a lot of confidence. And I mean, the hat-trick today was tremendous. I thought the 3rd goal was brilliant. It's one of the best goals I've seen this season.
Although his spoken English remains limited, Domovsky's hat-trick was a clear message for those who doubted the pedigree of the recruit from Vardar. Coach Ernie Merrick said Domovsky's first goal lifted the team, but he then found some charitable words for the losers.
I don't know if they crumbled. I think we took the opportunities that came our way, and they had a couple of chances and the game could have gone either way. I don't think 4-0 is a true reflection on the game. I feel a little bit sorry for Apia. They're a great team. They had to lose sometime. They were without a couple of very good players today, Zemi and Yankos, and I think they've got the league sewn up, so they've done really well. We were just lucky, a wee bit lucky to get that first goal, and then the rest came. Yeah.
Mathematically though, Macedonia can still catch Apia. Are you going to go home tonight and do your sums?
No, I'm not going to do any sums. I'm very happy with winning that game, but that's just another game. I don't want to get carried away with any fantastic results.
Next door in the Apia rooms, the post-mortem was already underway. the ambition of going undefeated in the league has really disappeared today. Are you upset about that?
Sure, I'm upset. I mean, not only has it disappeared, but I mean, it shattered us completely. But I mean, champion teams have to learn how to lose as well.
Wise words from Mike Girukala and also from Ernie Merrick. We thought we'd lead those in for you, even though, of course, today's news is that Apia has won the title, and our warmest congratulations to them. A 1-1 draw is how it finished in the first of the big Melbourne Greek derbies this year between South Melbourne and Heidelberg. That time South Melbourne were running 4th while Heidelberg were in 8th place. As they went into the return at Middle Park yesterday, there was an even wider gap between them, but Heidelberg's quest to avoid relegation ensured that it was again a tight affair full of incident. Heidelberg are in the yellow shirts with Greg Blake at the microphone.
Be a long throw by Richard Miranda, a former Socceroo. Easily away by Lucchese, McDowell. Now Heidelberg streak away. Centimetres out of the defence. It's wide for Lucchese, he's got space. Has he got support? Swings inside, left foot, in. Here it is, there's the goal! There's the goal that Heidelberg wanted, little Peter Tsalakis. The fans love him. And they strike again. That's Anastasiadis in the clear. Can he get it back? He can do. A mix-up on the near post. Tsalakis corner. Solomidis down. A nasty bounce for Kongiatos. Alfred. And he right. Stuart Stevenson. Lovely backheel. Here's a chance. Must be a penalty, surely. Stuart Stevenson's coming over wide Rose. McKinnon. Tsalakis. The goal scorer. Onto his right foot. Oh, and he tests Kongiatos. McKinnon chips back in, cut away. Tsalakis will try and jink his man. He does so. Heads towards the box. He'll play it for Anastasiadis. Crosses back. Oh, for the crazy open goal. Still not happy. He's now Hunter. Blasted. Oh, Kongiatos. Oh, and off the post by Laurie McKinnon. To right, McDowell, Thunders one. Revolver saw that coming through the sea of legs. Look for Danny Wright on the near post. Wright beaten by Marley. Here's a chance for Stevenson. McDowell, and it's in! Off Theo Solomidis on the line, and that's the goal Hellas wanted. Gary McDowell thumped it. And aren't the Hellas supporters celebrating? They love it in the Greek derby. Gary McDowell makes it 1-1. In these final desperate last moments. Minute and a half of injury time played. This should be the last attack of the game. Tsalakis thumps it, and off the post, was it?
Yeah, the first half we played pretty badly. Second half we came out and I thought we put a bit of pressure on them and deserved a point anyway.
That strike of yours, were you surprised to see it go in it? You hit it from a long way?
Yeah, well, I had a few shots today. Jeff done particularly well. I thought I was going to notch one, but I felt like that through the game, yeah. And I got one, so it's good.
You're undefeated since your coach Brian Garvey made the changes to the team and he dropped two long-standing first teamers, Charlie Egan and Peter Lormitz. How much difference has that made to the team, do you feel?
Well, I think it's just the boys now know that if they're not doing the business, they're not going to be playing. Whereas before it was the team picked itself actually, and you never under any pressure. So now the boys know it's either play or go.
Greg Blake with Gary McDowell. Sydney Croatia coach Vedran Rožić is this morning contemplating dramatic changes to his lineup after yet another loss yesterday. This time at home to St George, the team which first put a hole in Croatia's unbeaten run in the first round. Just what is wrong with Croatia is obviously difficult to diagnose, but it's a sickness which has robbed Croatia of a home win in 6 matches. Mike Tomalaris is at the microphone with Croatia in the red shirts.
Here's a chance now for Slater. Slater's got 2 players around him. A great save there by the keeper. St George certainly let off the hook. To O'Connor. O'Connor with players around him. Back to O'Shea. Now Pottier. O'Connor now with it's Potier moving forward. A good-looking ball to Olrenshaw. Olrenshaw's broken free. Olrenshaw with a chance now. St George, the open goal mouth. The backup by the St George forwards wasn't there. Now here's David Green. Ricoy beats Fiestra. Back to Hagan, to Ricoy. St George now with the opening chance. Ricoy's been brought down. Referee right on the spot waves. Play on. Fletcher moving forward on that right flank. Looks for number 12 for St George. Olrenshaw was it. A great save by Greg Woodhouse. Now Grabevski. A bad mistake there by Grabevski. And Manus Lamont's been brought down. The ball trickling towards the goalpost. Hits the post. And Jones to Otakov. Potier gets there first. Olrenshaw now, and Potier with a chance for St George. Greg Woodhouse comes out of his goal. In the early stages of this match, short ball to Hagan. Hagan now for St George. Off the post. Again at St George. That was Fletcher. The ball whizzing past the upright. Now Croatia's first chance in this second half. Robbie Slater. A great ball. Manus Lamont latches onto this one. Oh, the poor cross by Lamont. Graham Arnold's still there. Turns nicely. And Arnold denied the first goal for Sydney Croatia. Still with Slater. Looks for Odzakov. The cross could have been a lot better. That's now Odzakov. He could try one here. Lots of space. Closed in by the St George. Great save there by St George's Mike Gibson. Green. Back to Odzakov. Oh, he does well. Look at him go. Beats three players beautifully. Great play, Odzakov. The cross is a beautiful one too. Slater couldn't get his head to it. Okay, clinch with the corner kick. Arnold's there. Away with it comes Steve O'Connor for St George. Now Olrenshaw moving forward. A chance now for St George. He's onside. It's number 11, Graham Fletcher. The goalkeeper, Greg Woodhouse, comes out. But Graham Fletcher makes no mistake. And St George go one up. A greatly executed goal there by Graham Fletcher. He wasn't offside. The linesman had his flag down. He had the goal at his mercy. Yet on the counter-attack, St George come up with the goal. Now Slater. Slater with a chance. Into the body of Mike Gibson. And Croatia desperately needing an equaliser. It's Robbie Slater turning nicely. Two players to beat. He's had a fine game this afternoon. Looks for Lamond. Now Lamond looking dangerous. Croatia with a chance. Mike Gibson tipping that one over the byline, over the goalpost. Number 2, Rizzo. Sydney Croatia desperately needing an equaliser. Rizzo with a nice looking cross to Slater. Slater to Lamond. A golden opportunity for Lamond.
Mike Tomalaris at the Croatian Sports Centre. The Sydney Skies again delivered bright sunshine for yesterday's match of the day between Sydney Olympic and Melbourne, Croatia. Over 4,000 fans turned out for what was destined to be an even affair, even because the visitors were on a roll of just one match lost in 8 outings, while Olympic were missing 2 important cogs, striker John Kosmina and newly discovered midfielder Tony Dacos. Mike Hill and Johnny Warren are at the microphone with Olympic in the blue.
Now Sard. Vitalis. Gary Phillips. Swinging that one in, safely taken there by the keeper. Now Biskic. Gaining lovely control, picking out there Davidson. On the way, Robbie. Robbie Hooker reading that situation well. Now it breaks nicely for Terry Patalis. Patalis using his speed, not afraid to run at the defence. Still Patalis. Caught there by Robbie Dunn, and the referee wastes play on. Terry Vitalis there, lefty in Dobson for speed, and eventually it was half-tripped there by Robbie Dunn, and the referee wastes play on. Gets away there from Dobson, and Robbie Dunn pleads his innocence and gets away with it. Vitalis again, picking up the loose ball, trying the shot. That was deflected, and a corner for Sydney Olympic. Thompson was also saying he wanted the corners taken very quickly. Trying to catch Melbourne Croatia out. This one hasn't been taken quickly. As you can see, Melbourne Croatia with plenty of players back. Now Estavillo. Easily cut out by Robbie Dunn. So now Hensis. Scopler's giving that one away, and now Lewis. Faced there by Gary Meyer. Paul Lewis. Goal number 10 of the season for Paul Lewis. A deadly finisher. Sydney Olympic there were punished. The goal coming after 20 minutes. Scopler's played that one back in. Wallace was in there first. Drilled that one through the middle. And Paul Lewis in these situations is absolutely deadly. Gives Gary Meyer no chance. 20 minutes gone in the first half. Sydney Olympic 0, Melbourne Croatia 1. Abassad taking nicely on his chest. Trying to pick out Hansis, who'd made a good run forward. Throw for Sydney Olympic, quickly taken there by Saad. Now Patalis. Caught from behind by Biskic. So a free kick now for Sydney Olympic. Ratcliffe and Cody have gone forward. Davison gets a touch. Fisted away there by Runya. Estavillo. Always an awkward one, that, for Estavillo. High bouncing ball. Seemed to slice it. The ball came to him quickly. Hard-driven free kick. Eventually punched away there by Runya. Estavillo tries to keep it down. Finishes up and screws well wide. Robbie Hooker. Cody there dispossessed by Wallace. Wallace again sending Lewis on his way into the side netting. Paul Lewis there so close to his second goal this afternoon. And he knows how close it was. But again, it was that Wallace and Lewis combination. A slip up there from Mike Cody. Wallace dispossessed him, releases the ball quickly. Lewis on the run through, gets it past Gary Meyer, but into the side netting. Now Phillips. Done again, so strong in the air. Certainly so much height in this Melbourne Croatia side. Now Raskopoulos. Hensis. Chance to go forward for the first time this afternoon. Hensis playing that one in. Abassad. Dobson coming across, concedes the corner. That's what Eddie Thompson will be looking for. Hensis there playing that one in. Playing it in low and giving Abassad every chance against these towering defenders of Melbourne Croatia. Dobson comes in and dispossesses him and concedes the corner, which has been quickly taken. Now Raskopoulos. Estavillo. Estavillo driving that one across. It was always curling away, in fact, from David Ratcliffe. Sending this one in. Way by Hannah. Now Estavillo. Some help there. He needed somebody wide. Lovely ball, though, from Estavillo. Looking for Raskopoulos. Raskopoulos there, caught in two minds. In fact, was trying to play that one across to Abassad. Now Hensis, curling that one in. And away by George Hannah. Lovely ball this, though, from Estavillo. Completely split the defence. Raskopoulos there, try to play it inside. Now watch, just about 90 seconds to go to half-time. Estavillo. Phillips. Now Hensis. Hensis trying to curl that one in. A testing one for the keeper. Seen there that Runya was holding down Stuart Johnson. Nothing given. Estavillo. Still Estavillo trying the shot. Beat the keeper, but he couldn't get past Robbie Dunn. Good defending there from the Winfield Socceroo. Estavillo's shot was goal bound. Runya there was stranded. There's some good defensive work here by Robbie Dunn. With the long clearance as we go into stoppage time. 40 seconds of that played in this first half. Abassad there dispossessed and stopped by Robbie Dunn. And good cool play there from big Robbie Dunn at the back. Now Milosevic. Giving that one away. Estavillo. Sliding that one through. This is Terry Patalis. Patalis gets the equaliser. Sydney Olympic get back on level terms. The goal coming after 46 minutes. Terry Patalis. His second goal of the season. Sydney Olympic fans celebrate. A big smile there on the face of Terry Patalis. Good through ball this from Vince Estavillo. Completely split the defence. So right on the stroke of half-time, Sydney Olympic 1, Melbourne Croatia 1.
And I think a satisfying result to both of those sides there in Match of the Day. And in the remaining matches, George Cross came back bravely from a 2-0 deficit to steal a point off Marconi. A goal by Noel Mitten and a John Markovsky penalty gave George Cross the draw after Gomez and Farina had put Marconi ahead. And supreme caution ruled the game at Olympic Park, where Juventus at Footscray drew 0-0. And that means that Apia, who face South Melbourne at home next week, have won the championship and can celebrate. Melbourne Croatia, having lost that point due to having played an unregistered player, fall to 7th place. It's still a tight battle, though, with 8 teams fighting for 4 places, among them Sydney Croatia, who are in a most uncustomary 8th place at the moment. It's all unchanged nearer the bottom, where George Cross, still with a game in hand over Heidelberg, are in there fighting. Frank Farina has thrown up a challenge again to Rod Brown on the scorer stakes. The gap is just 2 between them, while Paul Lewis has kept up his challenge as well, and Peter Tselakis has now joined those on 7 goals. And that's soccer for this weekend. More, of course, later in the week. But first, don't forget Sport Report International tomorrow at 8:30, reviewing all that matters in world sport. Andy Pascalidis brings you all that matters on the local front with Sport Report Australia on Wednesday. And we preview the weekend ahead in soccer with On the Ball on Saturday afternoon at 1:55. And then there's World Soccer on Saturday afternoon at 5:30 with our first Yugoslav match for the season, and that is Hajduk Split against Red Star Belgrade. Have a good week. Good night.